Hello and good evening. So today's going to be a really quick video on Brugmansias. I have actually done a video on Brugmansias 12 months ago, which has turned out quite popular. So I'm just going to do like a quick care video. Not at the best of starts with one of my Brugmansias this year. So this year it's absolutely pooed itself and really struggled. So I'll show you that quickly. I'll show you my mature 3 years old one. What had a heavy cut back because it was struggling, and now it's doing really well. It's in bud, and I'm also going to show you two different techniques in propagation, one water and one in compost. Show you the difference. They've done it at very similar times, and share my thoughts on it really. So yeah, really quick video. Without further ado, let's get into it. So this is my mature one. If you guys have seen the original Brugmansia video, you'll know that it was much bigger last year, although there's more buds this year. So what I do is I feed mine with chicken manure every year, and I feed it with fish blood and bone. I cut it right back to the stem so there's nothing showing for the winter, and I give it little bits of water throughout the winter so it doesn't dry out. Okay, so this year's been a really tough year for my Brugmansias, and I don't know if you guys have shared a similar experience this year. Whereas they've been really yellow, I almost thought they had a magnesium deficiency or something like that. But it turns out it's just a late start for them. But they're doing really well now. As you can see, they've got lots of little buds on from the bottom, which is unusual for my plants because normally they're a complete canopy. They tower above me, and then so you've got like a layer down there, another layer just here, and then a layer there. So it's going to be a real good show when it comes out. It's probably about a good 20 or so blooms on that, and that's just what's on. It'll obviously have more to follow. So yeah, I use chicken manure. I feed them every week, fish blood and bone, feed them every week, water them heavily in this weather. It's like 26, 27 every day at the minute here in the UK, which is, it's lovely. These are obviously thriving for it, and that's it. They're really hungry, really thirsty, like I said in my previous video on Brugmansias, but they're one of my absolute all-time favourites. So the golden question is, how do you propagate them? What's the best way to do it? So I'll show you a couple of different ways. Very easy. So just in shot here, these are my cuttings. But just here, this is the one what's really struggled. This is my white Brugmansia. I had three different colours. So I had a pink, which is over in the corner just here. Always done pretty good. White one, again, always done pretty well. And I had a yellow one, which really struggled last year, and I ended up losing it over the winter, which I was pretty disappointed about. So this one has bloomed already this year, but it's really struggled. And as you can see, the leaves are ever so slightly yellow. So I've been feeding it heavily over the past sort of, I think it's 2 weeks. So I've cut it all back, stripped it right back. So don't be afraid to cut these back hard. Stripped every single leaf off it, and I've just been feeding it chicken manure, fish blood and bone every week, giving it lots of water, and it's bouncing back really well. So I'll do a bit of an update video on this when it's actually in full bloom, because I'm excited to see what it's going to look like, and if it's going to flower again, how many flowers, and what it's going to look like when it's done. So and obviously hopefully I can show you the difference and reference it to this video. So almost doesn't look like the same plant, does it? So this has come on leaps and bounds, and like I say, I've just fed it lots. It's greened up really well. Just give it lots of chicken manure for the growth, lots of fish blood and bone for overall health. So it's done really well. A couple of things I've added into the pot. So I've added a couple of marigolds here at the bottom to try and keep the slugs off. Also, they'll add some healthy nematodes to the soil, and that will drain through. Got a new one here which will be coming off, and this will be going into a cutting. So that's really healthy. And I'll go and show you my pink one. And here it is. So this doesn't actually do it justice. These flowers, absolutely incredible. So there we go. That's just in 2 weeks how much progress they've made. So hopefully that gives you guys a good understanding of how quickly they grow, and how quickly you can bring the buds on, because last time I showed you the buds, they were absolutely tiny, and they're just looking fantastic now. These are my Brugmansia cuttings. So done similar time, only 3 days apart these were. So one way, a really easy way, is to just drop them straight into water. So that's it. But with that one, what I have noticed is the leaves are slightly yellowed. I haven't added any nutrient to it. Now it's took about 2.5 weeks in order to get something like that. About 2.5 weeks to get something like that. Now, as you can see, I made the mistake of putting water up to that node just there. I'll show you. To there, and all the water it needed was to there, really, just to concentrate on getting the roots there. But that was my mistake, so obviously I think that's made it a lot longer. I think if you did that straight away, it probably would have done within about 10 days. We would have been looking at this sort of thing, supposed to 2.5 weeks. So quite a healthy specimen, but the leaves are yellow. They'll green up very quickly once they go into some multi-purpose compost with some chicken manure and fish blood and bone. So really healthy cutting. And then this one was done 3 days later. So this one is just straight off a new stem. As you can see, you've got the brand new head of the leader. And these ones weren't. These were done off like a chopped cutting. So these were several different sections, if you like, off a leader. And I will show you very quickly what one of them. Just pull one out and then I'll pop one up just so you guys can see. And I'll pop them both up while we're on this video. Let me sit you down, and then I'll show you what this one's doing, I think. Right, so you can use anything really. You know, a pen, a screwdriver. I've actually got like a skewer, barbecue skewer, just to dig out the roots really. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two. Like I say, that was probably in about 3 days earlier to this. Straight away the difference is these leaves are a lot greener, a lot healthier, because obviously they've got in brand new compost, so it's got nutrient in the compost. Now, two different things to that. One is, if it goes into like a seed compost, there'll be a lot less nutrients, so it encourages the roots to grow out to find the nutrients, so you get a better root system. If any of you guys have watched any of my videos, you'll know like I'm a multi-purpose man. A multi-purpose compost man, I really do believe it. Only because when I did my apprenticeship, I sort of like did it on a budget. Everything I was experimenting and cuttings I was taking, I was sort of I was doing on the cheap, and the multi-purpose compost is kind of like the cheap compost. So then I obviously learned how to add sand and make it more free draining and perlite and all that sort of thing, but it's still obviously full of nutrients, multi-purpose. So that's that. I'm waffling, so let me get into this. So we picked this one, didn't we? So the only reason I'm doing this is so I don't disturb any root and I get it all out. You'll actually not be any root on this now. Oh. Right, so straight away, there's not as much root on the compost plant, but there is. Hang on, where are we? There we go. So there's enough there to get it replanted. So it is starting. It's getting going quite nicely. So I'm going to repot them up. So two differences. This one's greener, not as good root system. That one's not greener, but a much better root system on it. So I'll show you the two different cuttings side by side, and then we'll get them potted up. So there we have it. There are the two root systems. The cutting itself was a lot bigger, obviously, on the main leader, and you can see there the root system shown, but nowhere near as good as one in water. So you can see why people do root them in water. To be noted, I didn't use any hormone rooting powder. These have got plenty in the natural system, so they root really well, really easily. They'll both be potted up today. This one I believe is white from memory, and this one's a pink one. So this one's actually took from this plant here, which is recovering, and this one was took from a main one in the corner. So I'll get these planted up. give them a water, and go from there. So there we have it. This is my multi-purpose compost. So that's in almost a 1 litre pot, something like that. So what you want to do is you want to take your pencil or your screwdriver, or you can have a proper dibber, but you can have whatever's around really. Like I say, I've got this skewer, barbecue skewer. So what you want to do is in the middle you want to make your hole round and round and round, deep enough for however much you want to bury. Really important that you do this. So one of the main reasons is you've worked so hard to get this root system going, that if you're just going to push it straight in, obviously I made a hole there, I haven't made a hole there, if you were just to push that straight in there, you're obviously going to damage all those little roots that you've been working so hard to promote. So this will obviously drop straight in there, give it a bit of a pinch together. You can plug in the sides, just not directly where the root system is, all around the sides like that. Give it a bit of a shake, then a water, and then that is it. So I'll repeat the process. So I'm going to bury this to about there on that one. So again, get your pencil, in this case a barbecue skewer, going down a bit further, make that hole, protecting those roots. So you're dropping that down just like so, pinching it, go all the way around the edge. And that's it. I give those two a water, then hopefully I'll get another couple of decent plants out of it. Trusty Desperado bottle. So a little bit more. I'm actually going to soak these to make sure all the roots are covered, all the compost is bedded in nice. Give that probably one more. Might just add a little bit more compost around, because I really like to bring it up to the top with an ever so slight rim to catch it. I don't like it dropping too low down because of airflow, although this time of year it's not so much of a problem. Certainly in winter, if you pot your plants up like this, basically what will happen is your lack of airflow can create an issue with fungus or root or all things like that. So it's really a case of creating, when the wind or the flow of the air through the house can go straight over it and not sit in gaps. So it's all about plant hygiene. So I will just go ahead and add a little bit more in there. It's really difficult one-handed. The other YouTubers make it look so easy. Put that big clump out there. There we go, much better. So there we have it. So I've added a little bit more compost on there, just to help with plant hygiene. And that's it. So I'll water that, and that'll be that. So I'll be really pleased with that. 2 brand new cuttings. There we go. Coming out the bottom. So like always guys, please, if you have any questions, please don't be afraid to leave in the comments down below. I'll do my best to answer them. If there's anything you'd like to see within the garden, then again please let me know. But please hit the big like button and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. So take care. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.